Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another random match here on WWE 2K17. Now this one has been suggested by Jay over at Gaming HD, and it is the Revival versus the Hollywood Blondes, Stunning Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. Now this is a very clever match. I always think that Scott Dawson looks like he's wearing glasses in that picture. Should have said that a bit earlier, shouldn't I? But yeah, it's been an interesting match this one because the Revival have always been known as a very sort of old school style tag team, so to bring them back into the 90s like this is a pretty cool idea. So well done for Jay for that one. I really am intrigued to see how these two guys get on against a genuine old-fashioned tag team, because that's essentially what they are, really. Of course, like I said, this one was suggested by Jay over at Gaming HD, so if anyone else has any suggestions for random matches they would like to see, them please do drop them down in the comment section below. I will get them added to our hat. And if your match gets pulled out of the hat, then you will get a shout out in the process. Of course, the more matches you suggest, the more likely you are going to get one of yours pulled out of the hat. Simple as that, really, I suppose, isn't it? It's all about the laws of averages. Good old Revival. I'm thinking I might bring them up in our universe mode for the last few months of our WWE 2K17 universe mode. Of course, we are just running this first universe mode all the way from beginning of January until WrestleMania. Then we're going to go off and try a different universe mode. So it'll be interesting to get these guys on the main roster for a little bit of time. I'm thinking maybe SmackDown. Maybe I think Raw's got. I don't know. Has Raw got a strong tag team division? They've got the New Day and they've got the Club. They've got the Golden Truth. They've got the Shining Stars. They've got Enzo and Cass. They've got some good tag teams, Raw, but SmackDown's got American Alpha. They've got the Usos. Rhino and Heath, I think, are going to split sooner or later. So yeah, I'm sure we can find something to do. I'm sure the Revival might be actually pretty good on. The Revival might end up being pretty good on SmackDown. I think I thought about putting them on SmackDown originally, to tell the truth. So Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin, the Hollywood Blondes, going to take on the New Age Retro Tag Team in the Revival. That's Dash Wilder in the ring, Scott Dawson on the apron. The bell goes and we are underway. Now, I wanted to try this old Halloween Havoc arena. I like these old arenas, especially the old WCW ones. I think they look really cool. Because WCW always used to have that nice big logo in the middle. They used to have all the advertising, and it just gives you a bit more of the eye. Because when you watch a WWE one, everything's just plain and white, and they're missing out on all that potential revenue and all that potential advertising that you have on the map. On the mat. Steve Austin now with a snap suplex on Dash Wilder. The Dragon Slayer apparently is Stunning Steve Austin. Well, that's got anything to do with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I must admit I didn't really play the showcase mode last year on 2K16, so I don't honestly know. I don't know a lot about Austin's career, I must admit. I know he started off in WCW, then left WCW and went for a very, very brief period of time to ECW, where he had a I don't say a meltdown as such, but he had his first look at Stone Cold Steve Austin when he went to ECW, because I think from what I remember, didn't Paul Heyman give him gave him a call when he was released from WCW and gave him a chance to air his grievances. So he came out basically as himself and just went off on one on the microphone. And I think that's when WWE looked at him and realised, you know what, we could have someone, we could have a real Stone Cold sort of character. So I think they went for that in the end. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. See Dash Wilder just flying Brian Pillman flat in his face. Pillman's a big guy, isn't he? You don't remember how big some of these guys were. Of course, back in the 90s, there wasn't as many drugs tests as there are these days. So even the cruiserweights at that sort of time, or the high flyers, were all on major amounts of steroids, weren't they? I suppose, if you look at it that way. Dawson now. Oh, back and forth with Brian Pillman there. I've noticed on this year's game, people are a bit more decisive in what they're going to do on these games. Because on last year's game, they'd just do something, then they'd reverse it basically. They just do the same thing but backwards. So I think at least this time they're going to be a little bit more too. I think a big knee to the face of Dawson there by flying Brian Pillman. Dawson now bringing Pillman into the middle of the ring. He's going to go forward, takes him up onto his shoulders. A very loose looking powerbomb. Dawson just taunting, stunning Steve Austin on the other side of the ring. He saw Pillman trying to crawl towards him and using his good tactic manoeuvres there. His good tag team manoeuvres. Getting across and trying to get in between Pillman and Austin. But it hasn't worked out too well for him as Pillman's back on his feet and makes the tag into Austin. Austin, that big knee to the face of Dawson, bringing Dawson back up to his feet with Dawson with a shoulder tackle taking, stunning Steve Austin down. Boot to the face and a DDT by Scott Dawson on stunning Steve Austin. Dawson went for the ace crusher, but Austin throws him away. Taking Dawson up, went for a backdrop, but Dawson reversed it into a crossbody. Dawson now just pinching the trapezius of stunning Steve Austin. A very painful looking move. Austin makes the tag in to flying Brian Pillman. Pillman catching a hold of Dawson into a backbreaker. And you can sort of tell this is much more of an old-fashioned style tag team match, basically because of the speed of it, really. It's a bit slow, it's a bit laboured, and that's exactly how it was back in the old days. The matches weren't as fast moving and high flying as they are these days. Pillman now bringing Dawson back up to his feet into the corner. Pillman got planned out. I'd love to see Brian Pillman. Obviously we can't see Brian Pillman back in the WWE today because he's unfortunately passed away back in about 98, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, it might have been earlier than that. But he was just a man who was probably far ahead of his time. And one person I could really sort of link him to now. A lot of people link him to Dean Ambrose, but also I think Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is very much a Brian Pillman-esque sort of wrestler, which I think I really like. I'm a big fan of Brian Pillman anyway. There's the pin. Dawson catching, stunning Steve. It's only a 2 count. Dawson dropping down into the corner, just taunting the grounded, flying Brian Pillman now. That's not Dawson. No, that's Wilder. Sorry, Dash Wilder. Dash and Dawson. I should know this by now. These are one of the tag teams I do actually know. Great front suplex there by Wilder. Dawson needs to leave the ring now. Referee can't moan at him too much. He's been grounded for quite a chunk of time. Wilder's choking the grounded Brian Pillman, dragging him into the middle of the ring. And now what has Wilder got planned here? I'm not sure why Wilder's. I thought their attires were very similar, but evidently not. And the Revival. See Austin there trying to come into the ring and break up the pin, but I think he also caught the referee there a bit as well. Referee's back up now, and Dash looking to continue the attack, bringing Pillman back up to his feet. Pillman obviously playing Possum there, wrenching Dash's arm over into an arm breaker. I'm still not 100% sure on these tag team matches. They don't seem to be working very well at the moment. There is still a chance they could obviously work pretty well, but Pillman now turning Dash round. Well, Pillman's going to go high impact here, looking for a springboard clothesline. Dash Wilder That's right, Scott Dawson tried to come in and break it up, didn't get there in time. There's the pin by Pillman. It's only enough for a 2 count. There's the tag by Pillman into stunning Steve Austin. Austin going to roll over Dash and look for another pin. One, only a 1 count. Dash had a lot of time to recuperate there, really, so it probably wasn't the best of ideas. Austin just slamming the arm of Dash into the mat. Now Austin resting in the corner, just trying to get a little bit of energy back. Stamping on the knee, and again that's a very old-fashioned style tag team move, just working on the body. Both members of the tag team would generally work on the same body part and just try and weaken them, especially if one member of the tag team does have a finishing maneuver that is a submission. Austin's actually busted Dash Wilder open here. Now slamming the arm of Dash into the mat. Austin dragging him into that central logo and dropping an elbow right into the face. Austin brings Dash up to his feet, takes him up, and there's a pile driver. Wow, if only Austin knew back then when he was hitting pile drivers, that'd be the move that would break his neck when Owen Hart did it to him. Dawson does come in, he does get in there to break up the pin before Brian Pillman got a chance to come across. Austin big knee to the face of Dash Wilder as well, and that cut is only going to... Oh my god, I was going to say it's only just going to get worse, but I've just been proved right there. Dash is absolutely peeing of blood now at the moment. Oh, dropped across the face. Across that top rope, another pin by Austin. And again, Dawson able to come in and break it up. I think Dawson might have hurt his own arm there doing that. Austin trying to grab a hold of Dawson, but Dawson kicking Austin away. Dawson needs to make a tag. He's bleeding profusely here. He needs to make the tag, but he doesn't. He goes to try and continue the assault on Austin, taking him up onto his shoulders into that big backbreaker there by Dawson. And still I keep calling him Dawson, it's Wilder, isn't it? That's Dash Wilder. There's the pin by Wilder. Dawson does come across. Blocks Pillman off. But it was only enough for a 2 count there on Austin. Great tornado head scissors there by Brian Pillman on Scott Dawson. Austin now sending Dawson into the corner. How am I doing this? I can't get Dash and Wilder. Dash Wilder. I called everyone Dawson at the moment. I did the same thing in the Jericho versus Christian versus Edge match a few days ago. I kept calling everyone the wrong names all the time. Oh, my mind's obviously going, isn't it? That's what it is. Austin just stamping on the back of the arm of Dash Wilder, now bringing him away as far as he can from Scott Dawson. Pillman comes across, blocking off Dawson. It's only a 2 count. Once again, Austin trying to utilise the ropes there in that situation. Pillman now the scoop slam on Dash Wilder. Got it right that time. Referee telling Pillman to leave the ring, and he does leave the ring. Dash throwing Austin into the corner, and finally Dash makes the tag. He needed to do that. And they're going to go for that big finisher maneuver. They do. I've forgotten what it's called, but they've gone for it. Dash, stay in the ring. Now Dash does stay in the perfect position. This is what I want to see from this game. I want to see people do that. Oh, Dash, you were stood there. Why did you block him off? For God's sake, this game. Ugh. Tag team matches on this game are stupid. He was stood there and he just watched Brian Pillman casually walk in, walk around him and break the pin. So frustrating. Oh no, Dash has just speared his own teammate out of the submission hold. Ah! Yeah, tag team matches on this game are really frustrating at the moment. They don't seem to work. The AI is just not there. It's very, very frustrating. There's the pin by Austin on Dawson, only there for a 1 count. Now Austin is going to bring in Pillman. Pillman's a fresh man. He's not had a lot of input in this match over the last few minutes. So he should be the fresh man. So Austin is busted open. My battery is low on the controller. And Dash Wilder's pretty busted open as well. Oh, great reversal there by Brian Pillman. That needs the face of Dawson, but Dawson catches Pillman in the the front giant. Now sending Pillman over the top rope, crashing below to 3 of the worst commentators of time. I used to love Jerry the King Lawler as a commentator, but now he's just really lost it, hasn't he? He's really just not as good as he used to be. Austin there breaking that submission hold up. And this is not a great place for Scott Dawson to be, because he's right in the middle of both of his opponents. Austin now suplex on the outside. Referee's up to a 5 count, and both legal men are grounded. Referee's up to a 7 count now. Austin again bringing Dawson back up and sending him into the ring. That could end up getting him get his team counted out, and Pillman does get up and get in the ring before he's counted out as well. Pillman there with a DDT, a short, sharp DDT as well, bringing Dawson back up to his feet. Bringing him across into the corner as well. Does make the tag in. Pillman launching Austin towards Scott Dawson. Austin in for the pin. Go on, ref, count. There it is, he is counting now. Pillman's taken Dash off the apron. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Finally, the tag team maneuver slightly worked. The referee was too bloody slow that time. Yeah, please 2K, you need to patch this game. Tag team matches do not work. You need to patch this game. You need to do it soon. Dash is still down on the outside. Dawson now dropping an elbow into the face. So Austin dropping an elbow into the face of Dawson, should I say. Austin now pile driver once again, but he's right in front of Dash Wilder. That's not a very good place for him to try and pin Dawson. He does pull him away from the ropes. There's the pin. 1, 2. Dash is blocked off by Brian Pillman, and there is the win for the Hollywood Blondes in what was a very, very frustrating match, in my opinion. But still, it was a decent ending. There just need to be, these endings need to be a little bit more common. That's the problem, I think, at the moment. There's just too many glitches in the game. There's too many failed AI in the game at the moment. They need to patch these tag team matches, and I'm going to try and avoid them a little bit until they do, because at the moment they're frustrating me. We've seen some very frustrating things in this match, but still, it was a good match. I hope you have enjoyed it. We've seen a hell of a lot of blood, haven't we? Austin and Scott Dawson busted open. Dash Wilder just almost like decapitated. There was that much blood around. So we've seen a lot of blood in this. That's because the match went for so long. I think there was I think as time goes on, you're bound to just get that many cuts. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this one. Of course, if you have, then please do hit the like button. And of course, if you are new around here, hit the subscribe button as well. Of course, this one was suggested by Jay over at Gaming HD, so thank you very much, Jay. If anyone else does have any suggestions for random matches, again, please do drop them in the comment section below, and I will get them added to the hat. And if yours gets picked out of the hat, you will get a shout out in the process. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.